Alright, so I've got this document from Carolyn. Thank you for sending this. If I've had a movie camera, I at least planned to address it. So first, let's remove the first, middle, or last page of a Google document. So what I'm going to do is go to New and Docs and blank. Command A to select all, Command C to copy, and then Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V, till I got a few pages of this silly nonsense. Okay, so if they're soft returns, meaning I was typing here and they were out of space, so they just stuck me on the next page. Okay, that's called a soft page break. So that's just a matter of you're going to delete this bit, but if you want to leave this page blank, I don't have a scroll on this thing, so I'm going to say Shift down. My scroller is broken. Oh, technology. Okay. All right. So I have the middle page selected, and if you want to leave it blank, you would literally just kind of say Enter and then insert a hard page break, which is the next thing I was going to talk about. Okay. So now I have page 3 was as it was, page 1 as it was, page 2 is blank. But that's maybe not what you're talking about. So let's undo back to here where I still had everything intact. Okay, maybe I had this page ending like halfway down or something, and I had one of those hard page breaks we were just talking about. Insert, break, and page. Okay, so in this case, we've got this page, and I'll push down, 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 and it jumps to the next page because there's this invisible thing here that says end of page. There's nothing below this line, okay? Sometimes you can view those codes. I've done that a lot in Word. It doesn't look like this is something Google Docs can do. But if you know there's a hard page break there, you can always do this. So here I am at the beginning of the next page. I push up, it jumps to that spot in the first page, and down it goes to the next page. I'll hit say backspace or delete. Okay, and it'll just delete the page break, which puts everything back where you saw it. So I'm not sure if that's helpful or not. This is actually, believe it or not, one of the harder questions for me to answer. So let's keep going. Ask me more questions if that didn't work or didn't make sense for you. Basket signs, I didn't put a thing next to it because I guess I am going to need an example just like you were thinking. Check what I have in Google Drive and how I have it shared. How do I change it? Well, for sharing, so I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. I'm just going to close that. And we're going to find long silly example. And I can either right click it and go to share, right? Or I could always go up to the guy up here. Okay, same thing. It takes you either place. Or actually, if we were in here editing it, if it's easier not to go back into Drive, you can definitely share it from in here as well. You can go to File and Share, right? So these are all the same thing. Right click it from Drive, go to the little person thing with a plus sign in the top right in Drive, or just go to File Share from, oh, look at this. I just saw it. There's a giant share button in the top right as well. So there's 4 different places you can share it. Hey, there are really more, right? Those are just the ones I can think of. Okay, so with whom should I share this? Well, I can share it with all a special school district, right? And when I do, they're not going to know right away unless I notify them, okay? But do I want them to view it? Or do I want them to be able to view it and comment on it without changing it? Or do I want them able to change it and add stuff? All right, so now I've shared that. I decided I don't want to share it anymore, so I'll go to change, and we'll just go ahead and revoke that. There we go. Only people added. All right, and no one's been added yet. Let's see. Let's make sure that's the right question I got. Change what I have in the learning community and how I have it shared. Okay, so if you mean like the Let's Learn community is on like a shared drive that the principal made, and you've tried to copy it or rename it or delete it, and it's not letting you, that's just a matter of asking the principal. I've had to do that too. You can't change, you can sometimes go in and edit it, but you can't usually trash it. So I've had that problem a lot, and it's just an administrative thing. So I hope that answered that question as far as how you have it shared. But ask me more questions if I didn't, as always. Okay, we're on this one. Create one Google document. Quickest way to start a new one. Oh, I love this question. I love efficiency. All right, so I'm going to say Command W to close it, and new doc blank. If you like, you can new doc template. And I know you mentioned that you already saw file new. Okay, so of course that's another way, right? I'm going to push Command N. Command N does not make a new document. It makes a new browser window. Since Google Docs is something that like lives in a web browser, doesn't make a new document. So Command N does make a new browser window, okay, but it does not make a new document like it does in Word. Okay, heads up, template. Okay, I'm sorry, you're going to have to explain that one a little more to me. Quickest way to move from a created Google Doc to an old one. Yeah. So here's one I just made. Here's long, silly example. And here's the best way to do this. Hold down the command button if you're on a Mac. I think the control button if you're on Windows, and almost all browsers are going to work like this. Command 1 goes to my Mac. Command 2, Command 3. You see what it's doing is the tabs on top. So if I've got two documents I'm working with, Command 3, Command 2, Command 3, Command 2. I can quickly switch back and forth with the keyboard shortcuts. So I don't know if that saves you any time, because sometimes when you're down here clicking on something, it's a hassle to go all the way to the top and click and then come back down. But it's also a hassle to remember shortcuts. So 6 and 1/2 dozen of the you can see what works best for you. Okay. Next, removing documents. Try to remember the exact question. I'll bet it had to do with removing documents efficiently. What I would do is go to the ones that you don't want. Like, let's say I want to get rid of that. Hold down the Control key on Windows or Linux, or the Command key on a Mac. Well, it does not work in suggested. See, I'm in suggested, but it does work in list. So say I want to delete the classroom folder and long, silly example and untitled. There we go. So I'll just hold down the Command button or Control if you're on Windows. I'm on a Mac right now. I don't want untitled folder. So anyway, if I've got several selected or one selected or whatever, there's a trash can on the top right. Okay, you can remove it that way. Or you can always right-click it, and it's there. Okay, so those we'll put it in the trash, and Google is going to keep your trash for 30 days. All right, so that's important. If you really want to delete something for whatever reason, then go in the trash and delete that. But otherwise, it'll disappear from the trash in 30 days when the magic Google janitor comes by and does all the spring cleaning stuff. And when I search under my Google Drive, it's searching any and all drives. Searching in here definitely searches your own stuff as well as the shared with me's, and you can change the filters over here. Oof. Owner, okay. Location, anywhere. Looks like I can say, yeah, it looks like your shared drives will be searchable too. Interesting. All right. So when you see one of these like knobs with sliders on it, that usually means that you can set, like, add certain parameters to your search, not just in Drive. I mean, pretty normal standard. Anyway, I hope that answers that. So removing documents, see the date on a Google Sheet or document without opening it up. All right. On the right, it's got this icon. It goes to the list view, and this is when it was last modified. And you can sort by when it was last modified. So if I want to hit that, last modified by me, last opened by me. Okay. So to sort by it, there's an invisible arrow to the right of it. Or you can go alphabetical again by hitting the invisible arrow to the right of that, which becomes visible after you select it. Does that answer your question? What was your question again? Is there a way to see that? Okay, so anyway, up here in the top right, here's the icon view, here's the list view. Hope that's going to work for you. Rhymed. All the documents above and below my folders. Yeah, I didn't put the camera on there. Center vertically and horizontally in Google Sheet. I'm going to look that up before I try to answer you because I know how to do it in Word, and I'm not sure where it is in Sheets, and I don't want to waste your time. Print just the chart, not the extra lines. I need a chart. Border on pictures. Looks like Heidi answered that. Center horizontally with reminder signs. I'm not sure what those are. That's why there's no camera. Is there a way to go back and see the message I wrote when I shared a document? I don't know. Something else I need to check out. When I update or edit a document, are the people with whom I share the document alerted each time? No. It's extremely easy to make it such that they are. So let's go into a long, silly example. So if I make a change down here and I want to tell someone this is the last sentence, the most common way to do this, and the way that's going to be on your exam, is going to be comments or add others with the @. So I can say, this is the last sentence. Okay, at this person. So I'll click on that guy. All right. Now, when I comment, okay, it says my mention will add people to this discussion and send an email. All right, so now when I hit comment, burp, share with one person. The comment, or can they just edit? So when I let this person know that I changed something, they can comment back at me over in the comments, or I can go ahead and share it with them and make them an edit person, okay? That's it. Could also say don't give access. That way they're getting notification, they're just not gonna be able to do anything about it. I mean, except send you an email back, of course, right? So anyway, that's what that does. And then you click on comment and they get that. Surveys, print responses. Oh yeah, wait, I skipped one. Quickest way to move. I mean, you just kind of grab it and you drop it in there in the shared drive. I mean, if you've got shared drives, which I don't, you just kind of drag it. Now, if you mean your drive to some other person's drive, you're back to sharing, okay, with the guy with the plus sign or this person with the plus sign or whatever. That's the only way to send it to their drive. Once it's shared with them, they can right-click and say add a shortcut to my drive or something like that. There we go. Or actually, I think it's one that says add to my drive, but it's only with something that's been shared with you. That's why I don't see it on my own screen. Sorry, I don't have a good example. Okay, Google surveys. Let's print some responses. All right. When you make a survey, you probably already know you can turn it into a spreadsheet, and that's going to be the easiest way to do this one, I think. Let's do it. Over in the responses, you can hit the create spreadsheet, okay? And you can either make a new spreadsheet or you can stick it in one you already have, whatever's more convenient, okay? So I'm going to create one. Sorry, I'm not using very creative names today. So I have untitled form and untitled form, the spreadsheet. This spreadsheet will automatically fill with other people who continue to fill out the forms, all right? And here's the timestamp, and here's the question and their response. And so you can format the responses by, maybe you want to right-click on A and say hide. Maybe you want to click on B and put on some cute borders or something. And maybe you want to say Command P, which is a fun shortcut for print. And then, oh, here's another one. If you've got things that are too long to fit in there, that's important. You may know how to do this already, but just in case, it would be very important if you have long responses. So I'm just going to take a second to show you. Oh, long silly examples right here. You can see that. All right. Doop. There we go. Is that still bordered? Yep. All right. So that's not very convenient. It goes way over the side, right? So the way we want to, well, let's just copy that and paste all this. Okay. So yeah, that's going to look pretty horrible. So what I'm going to do is say column B. I'm going to format that with wrapping. I went to format at the top and then text wrapping and wrap like that. Okay. And then this way, when I hit print, then I've got them all more the way I want them. So I hope this helps you print form responses. Forms is a great tool to know about before you take your exam. So ask me more questions about forms. Good tool to use. Okay. That was rambly. Let's see. What's next? Google surveys, print responses. Trying to move up text to fill a gap between text, it disappears. There's so many reasons this could happen, and that's any word processor, really. I've seen this happen so much in like Word and WordPerfect and LibreOffice, and thing is, so many reasons it could happen. Let's see if we can change the margin. If I've got a huge margin because I went over and clicked it accidentally in the ruler or for some other reason, maybe it pasted formatting from somewhere and now I've got this massive gap at the bottom, the only way to fix that is to change the margin again. So let's see if I can find, there we go, past 9 is where it was. Yeah, so now all the pages have the margins fixed, but let's see what can be another reason. Yeah, for this one, I think it'd be best if I did see an example. Shared versus shared with me, okay. Whew. Shared isn't a category over here, but if you see it on yours, which is possible because this is a student account, I don't know, there's a fast way to search for everything that you have shared. I know it's in Google Photos. I think Google Drive might have it sometimes. I don't see it over here. But shared with me is something that someone has gone up here on their drive and hit the plus and typed your name, okay? So if they've done that and hit send, you may have seen an email about it if they checked notify. Okay, and you either way, you will definitely find it in shared with me. All right, if that makes sense. But shared, there's a quick way to find all the shared stuff. Oh, shared to. There you go. If you want to see everything you shared to a specific person, that's in the search. So that was kind of nice to know. Let's see. Is that the last one? Nope. Vaccine card photograph. Sometimes I get save as. Oh, which is not what I want. That kind of depends on the browser. This is probably going to be browser specific, and so Safari, Edge or Explorer, Chrome, and Firefox, they're going to have different answers to how this works and how they handle it. But I will tell you, when you see an image, if you hold down the control button on a Mac, sometimes you can see view image or save image as or download image or something like that. That's what you want. You don't want save link or save page or download link or download page, okay? So, well, that's not what you want though. Yeah, just try another browser, and then if you really want it to work in a certain browser, let me know which browser that is, and I'll give you a very straight answer, but it would take a very long time to explain how to do it in all browsers because they all have very different answers, if that makes sense, okay? So don't let that one go. Ask me about that one. Editing marks. Green editing marks appear. What have I done? Well, probably did this. I could be wrong, but let's see if that's the case. Let's see if I have the grammar on even. Tools, spelling and grammar. Show grammar suggestions. If you don't want to see the green lines, you can always uncheck that. However, document looks good. Yeah, it likes that sentence. That's weird. Okay. Is all my cherries. Doop. Okay, that's not red, but it's not green. But I can hold down the control button on a Mac. Sorry, I can right click if you've got two buttons, okay? But if you don't have two buttons, hold down the control button and click. And it says, consider changing this to these are all my cherries, okay? Or you can just ignore it if it's annoying you and you don't want to see the line anymore. But maybe that's not the green line. So let me know what the green line is. Hopefully I answered your question, but if not, word. Okay, Google image. When trying to add a book cover, sometimes Alexandria takes it and sometimes does not. I can't remember what Alexandria is. I think it's your cataloging thing. So if I go to image.google.com and I look for doggies and I'm like, this guy's going to cut the mustard for the project I need, okay? So he is not on Google Images. Very important, right? We know that. We understand that. You know how to change copyrights and make me a librarian and everything. So, but there are so many different things I can do with this, right? Open link. This is linked to the original page. So if I open the link or I save the link as, it's a website, okay? So it's probably not going to have a lot of useful stuff. It's probably going to be big. What I probably want to do is copy the image and paste it into what you want. Not the image address unless you're emailing somebody a link to the original one. You could also save the image and then drag it into whatever you need it to be in. Just, make extra sure that you're making sure you're not getting the copyrighted kind or whatever. But you already know that, sorry. Okay, here, how about copy image address? And I'll just go up here and paste that. And then I can see where it came from. This came from rspca.org. Is it Australia? EU? I can't remember. And there's the actual link to the real image that's not on Google Images, right? Because Google Images is just a search engine that doesn't actually have any pictures on it. Hope that answers your question. I don't know, maybe that was barking the wrong tree. Bullets, how to make them work. Let's make the bullets work. I'm going to say 1. Oh, I can't do that like I can in Word. I'll just do it this way. Bullets. 1, 2, 3, enter, and enter again. Okay, so luckily it works very similar in this in Word. Just to make them work for you, you hit enter at the bottom or in the middle if you want more. Okay. Oh no, that's kind of silly, isn't it? Whatever, you get my point, right? So hit enter if you want another one. If you've got the other one and you don't want any more, hit enter again. Okay, that should fix your indent nightmare that'll happen if you try to force it out of there with backspace and all that fun stuff. But just in case, let's go ahead and talk about that too. All right, so if I hit delete, what I've got now is like more stuff about 3. Okay, so this is like if you want to continue, but you didn't want the bullets back. All right, and then you can always turn them back on. Shift tab moves them around. So if I wanted the bullets to be further over here, I hit tab. If I hit shift tab, it's going to go back. All right, and then if I hit enter, it's going to turn the bullets all the way off. So maybe that answers some of the questions. If you've already got stuff indented and it's like annoying you, because that does happen to some people, indent stuff is on the ruler in Word and Google, so I can take this and try to finagle it back over there. But that's kind of more of a hassle than just turning it off with the Enter key. So I don't know. I hope that answers your question about bullets. And was that the last one? Okay. I hope to hear from you soon. Best of luck with the digest. Ask me lots of questions. Thanks.